Gentlemen, what if I told you that the key to reigniting your manhood isn't found in a pill, a supplement, or a bottle of medication, but right there in your own hands? You heard that right. Inside your body are 3 hidden pressure points that, when massaged correctly, can send fresh blood rushing through your arteries and awaken your erections naturally, often within minutes. No chemicals, no side effects, just pure natural control over your body again. For men over 60, this discovery can feel like turning back the clock on your vitality. I'm Dr. James, a board-certified urologist with over 30 years of experience specializing in men's health and sexual wellness. I've spent decades helping men reclaim not just their physical strength, but their confidence, the deep sense of being alive again. And what I'm about to share with you today comes from both modern science and ancient medical wisdom that I've seen transform the lives of my patients. You see, most men believe their lack of firmness is just part of getting older. But the truth is, your body still holds incredible potential for circulation and vitality. It just needs the right signals to unlock it. The real problem isn't always in your hormones or your heart. It's in the hidden tension and tightness that slowly choke off blood flow. Today, I'm going to teach you exactly how to release that tension. You'll discover 3 urologist-approved pressure points that can instantly improve circulation, restore firmness, and reignite your confidence, naturally, safely, and powerfully. And stay with me until the end, because the 3rd pressure point I'll reveal is one that even many doctors overlook. But once you activate it, you'll feel why I call it the true awakening switch for men over 60. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another men's health tip designed especially for you. And if this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. And tell me what topics you'd like me to cover next to better help you regain your strength and confidence. Now let's begin with the foundation of it all, understanding why these pressure points actually work. Before you start pressing anywhere, it's crucial to know the science behind them, how touch, nerves, and blood flow connect to create the physical response your body needs for stronger natural erections. 1. The science of touch and blood flow. When I first began my medical career, I was fascinated by how something as simple as touch could change the entire chemistry of the human body. Over the years, I've treated men from all walks of life, executives, retired veterans, hardworking fathers, all coming to me with the same quiet concern. Doctor, I just don't feel the way I used to. They weren't only talking about their erections, they were talking about their energy, their sense of manhood, the way they used to feel alive from the inside out. And the more I listened, the more I realized that beneath the surface, most of them were battling the same invisible enemy: tension. You see, an erection isn't magic. It's a biological event driven by blood flow and controlled by the nervous system. When you're relaxed, your arteries open, blood moves freely, and your body responds. But when you're anxious, tired, or carrying years of unspoken stress, your body tightens. Your vessels constrict, your breathing shortens. The very muscles that should be helping blood flow to your pelvis begin to squeeze it away. It's like trying to water a garden with the hose kinked shut. No matter how much pressure builds inside, nothing truly reaches where it needs to go. Touch, especially through focused, intentional pressure, changes that. When you apply gentle, deliberate pressure to specific points on your body, something remarkable happens. Nerve endings beneath your skin send signals deep into your brain and spinal cord, telling your body it's safe to relax. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, what we doctors call the rest and recover state. In that state, your heart rate slows, your muscles loosen, and your blood vessels open up. The brain releases endorphins, the natural chemicals that dissolve tension and replace it with calm energy. At the same time, acupressure boosts the production of nitric oxide, a gas molecule your arteries use to expand and allow more blood through. This is the very same biological pathway targeted by most erectile medications, except now your body is doing it naturally. You're not forcing your body to react. You're guiding it to remember what it already knows. Think about it. Your hands are connected to one of the most powerful feedback systems in your body. When you use them with awareness and intention, they become tools of healing. Every press, every slow circular motion sends a message through your nerves, a message that says it's time to open up again. I've seen patients who couldn't achieve a firm erection for years start to notice change within weeks, simply because they learned how to relax their core and breathe while stimulating these pressure points. Their faces light up when they tell me, "Doctor, it's working again," and it's all natural. That's the beauty of understanding your own body. You reclaim control, and with it a quiet confidence that no prescription can give you. What many men don't realize is that blood flow isn't only about the heart. It's about communication between the mind, the nerves, and the vessels. When that communication improves, everything else follows. Sleep, mood, stamina, even emotional intimacy. You start feeling connected to yourself again, and that more than anything is what brings vitality back into your life. So before you rush to any pill or quick fix, remember this: your body is already equipped with a system for self-repair. You simply have to activate it. Through the right touch, through mindful breathing, you're reawakening a network that's been dormant. A system designed to deliver life and energy exactly where you need it most. And now that you understand the science behind it, it's time to apply it. Because knowledge alone doesn't change the body. Action does. In the next section, I'll show you where to begin, starting with the first pressure point that doctors and ancient healers have used for centuries to unlock circulation and revive male vitality. It's simple to find, surprisingly powerful, and it's the foundation for everything that follows. 2. Pressure point number 1, Sea of Energy, CV6. When I teach men about this first pressure point, I often tell them it's not just about blood flow, it's about reconnecting with the very center of their vitality. We call it the Sea of Energy for a reason. It's located just a few inches below your belly button, right in that soft area above your pubic bone, and it serves as a bridge between your mind, your breath, and your sexual power. When I first learned about this point years ago, I was skeptical. It sounded too poetic, too simple to be meaningful. But after working with hundreds of men, I realized this spot holds incredible influence over circulation, relaxation, and overall energy. Place your fingers on your lower abdomen and press gently but firmly. You might feel a tender spot, maybe even a dull ache beneath the surface. That's the Sea of Energy. It's not a muscle you can flex, but it responds to your awareness and touch. When you apply pressure here, you're stimulating deep layers of the abdominal wall, the same muscles that stabilize your core and support your organs. These muscles can become stiff and shorten from years of sitting, stress, or shallow breathing. As they tighten, they press against your blood vessels and restrict the natural flow that your lower body depends on. Releasing that tension can make an almost immediate difference. You may notice warmth spreading downward, a soft pulse returning to life. That's your circulation reawakening. From a medical standpoint, pressing this point helps relax the pelvic floor, one of the most overlooked muscle groups in men's health. A tight pelvic floor can block blood flow just as effectively as a kinked hose. Many of my older patients never realized how much unconscious tension they carried in this area until they began this simple practice. Within days, their breathing deepened, their posture improved, and they felt lighter, both physically and emotionally. When that deep tension begins to melt away, blood can move freely again through the arteries that lead directly to the penis. And with that flow comes a renewed sense of control and vitality. But this isn't just about the body. There's something profoundly calming about this exercise. When you focus on your lower abdomen and breathe deeply, in through your nose for 4 seconds, out through your mouth for 6, you're telling your nervous system that it's safe. You're inviting your body into a state of peace and openness. Many men describe feeling grounded afterward, as if the noise in their mind finally quiets down. In that stillness, your circulation improves even further because your body no longer feels under threat. Remember, an erection requires relaxation just as much as it requires stimulation. I still remember one of my patients, a 68-year-old retired engineer, who came to me frustrated and embarrassed. He had tried every pill available, but nothing worked for long. When I taught him this exercise, he was hesitant, even a bit skeptical. But within a week, he told me, "Doctor, I feel different. My body feels alive again." It wasn't instant magic. It was gradual rediscovery. The more he practiced, the more his confidence grew. His wife even noticed he walked taller, smiled more, and carried himself with quiet strength. That's the power of reconnecting to the center of your energy. This pressure point is more than just a spot on your abdomen, but it's a reminder that your body listens when you care for it. Every press and every breath tells your nervous system, "I'm here and I'm ready to restore balance." Do this daily, not as a chore, but as a ritual. A moment to check in with yourself, to breathe, to let go, to remember that age doesn't define your ability to feel strong. And as powerful as this first point is, it's only the beginning. There's another pressure point located lower on your body that holds a unique connection to your pelvic circulation, one where three vital energy pathways meet and where men often feel the most dramatic improvements in blood flow and sensitivity. Let's explore that next. 3. Pressure point number 2, 3-yin intersection, SP6. When I introduce this second pressure point to my patients, I often see curiosity in their eyes. They can't quite believe that something as simple as pressing a spot on the lower leg could have any connection to sexual health. But once they try it, the results speak for themselves. The 3-yin intersection, known as SP6, is one of the most powerful points for circulation, energy balance, and hormonal regulation. In traditional medicine, it's called the meeting point of the spleen, liver, and kidney meridians, 3 systems deeply tied to male vitality. In modern science, we understand that this point sits over nerves and blood vessels that communicate directly with the pelvic floor, the prostate, and the arteries responsible for erections. If you sit down comfortably and find the inner bone on your ankle, the one that juts out slightly, then measure about 4 finger widths up along your leg, you'll find it. It's just behind the shin bone in a soft and slightly tender spot. Press there with your thumb and you might feel a dull ache, almost as if your body is recognizing the signal. That sensation is your nervous system responding. You're waking up a line of communication between your legs and your pelvis that may have gone quiet over years of tension, poor circulation, and stress. I remember one of my patients, a retired teacher in his 70s who had given up on intimacy altogether. He told me he missed not only the physical connection but also the feeling of closeness that came with it. When I showed him this pressure point, he smiled politely but didn't seem convinced. "My legs," he said, half laughing, but after a few weeks of gentle daily practice, he returned to my office and said, "Doctor, I don't know what's happening, but I feel blood moving again. I even feel warmer." That warmth he described as the flow of life returning, oxygen, nutrients, and energy finally reaching the lower body the way they should. The beauty of SP6 lies in its ability to calm and energize at the same time. By stimulating this point, you're influencing your parasympathetic nervous system, the part that governs rest, recovery, and arousal. You're also improving blood flow through the tibial artery and promoting hormonal balance through signals sent to your adrenal glands and testes. It's a subtle process, but one that compounds with consistency. As circulation improves, many men notice not only firmer erections, but also better sleep, reduced anxiety, and even improved digestion. It's a full-body benefit from a single act of mindful care. When you press this point, do it slowly. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, sink your thumb deeper into that tender spot. Hold it for 30 to 45 seconds. You'll feel the tension release, maybe even a pulse beneath your skin. Then switch to the other leg. What matters most is presence, focusing on your breath, on the gentle rhythm of pressure, on the awareness that you're creating change from the inside out. You don't need to force anything. Your body knows how to respond when you simply allow it. Every man who's ever struggled with poor blood flow knows the frustration of feeling disconnected from his body. This practice helps bridge that gap. It reminds you that your circulation isn't gone, or it's just been asleep, waiting for you to awaken it. And as you begin to feel that energy spreading through your legs and into your pelvis, you start realizing something deeper. Strength doesn't fade with age, it fades with neglect. When you give your body attention, it gives back in ways that surprise you. This second pressure point is where transformation starts to feel real. It's where science meets self-awareness and where confidence begins to return naturally. But there's still one more point, one that works on a deeper level, both physical and emotional. It's located on your lower back, and many of my patients describe it as the master switch of male vitality. Once you stimulate it, you'll understand why I call it the hidden key to unlocking full, lasting power. Let's move on to that next. 4. Pressure point number 3, Sea of Vitality, Bladder 23. When I first began teaching men about the Sea of Vitality, many were surprised to learn that the secret to better blood flow and sexual strength could be found not in the groin, but in the lower back. Yet over the years, this has become one of the most transformative pressure points I teach. It's located on both sides of the spine, just about 2 finger widths outward from the center at the same height as your belly button. If you place your thumbs there and press gently into the soft muscles beside the spine, you'll likely find spots that feel sore, stiff, or tender. That's the Sea of Vitality, and for good reason. Those deep muscles hold years of tension, fatigue, and emotional weight that quietly drain your strength without you even realizing it. I often think back to a man named Richard, 68 years old, who came to me complaining of chronic fatigue, back tightness, and declining sexual performance. He told me, "Doctor, it feels like my body is running on low battery all the time." When I showed him how to locate and massage this point, he looked doubtful. But as he started working it daily, using his thumbs at first and later a tennis ball against the wall, his entire posture began to change. After 2 weeks, he told me, "I don't just feel better, I feel lighter." That's exactly what this point does. It releases the trapped tension that keeps your body locked in a cycle of stress and poor circulation. From a medical perspective, these points lie near the nerves that control the kidneys and adrenal glands, organs that play a vital role in regulating blood pressure, hormones, and energy production. In traditional medicine, they're seen as the source of life force, the very core of male endurance and passion. By stimulating this area, you're not only improving blood flow to the lower body, but also supporting the systems that help maintain stamina and vitality. When you massage the Sea of Vitality, don't rush. Place your hands on your lower back, take a slow, deep breath, and lean into your thumbs. If reaching that area feels difficult, stand with your back to a wall and place a tennis ball between your body and the wall, right at the point of tension. Gently roll back and forth, breathing deeply as the pressure releases. You might feel the muscles soften, warmth spreading through your lower back, or even a sense of calm washing over you. That's your body letting go, not just physically, but emotionally. Because let's be honest, we carry more in our backs than we realize. Stress from work, old injuries, worries we've never voiced. All of it lives there, tightening muscles and cutting off the flow that keeps us alive and responsive. What I love about this point is how quickly men notice the difference. Within minutes, the tension in the lower back begins to dissolve. Within days, many report sleeping better, feeling stronger, and even noticing improved sensitivity and control during intimacy. It's not magic. It's the natural consequence of freeing the deep muscles that connect your spine to your pelvis and ultimately to your sense of vitality as a man. As you work this point, I encourage you to focus on your breath and your intention. Each time you exhale, imagine that you're releasing not just physical tension, but years of stress that have quietly stolen your energy. Let each breath remind you that your body is still capable of healing, still capable of pleasure, still capable of strength. The Sea of Vitality is more than a physical practice. It's a reminder that life force comes from within you. It's proof that even after 60, your body still responds, still remembers, still thrives when you treat it with care. But as powerful as this point is, it's not the end of the story. Because no matter how open your circulation becomes, there's one invisible force that can still undo all your progress. Something that tightens every vessel and blocks every signal of desire. In the next part, I'll reveal exactly what that is, and more importantly, how to overcome it before it silently robs you of your vitality again. 5. The connection between stress and blood flow. If there's one truth I've learned after decades of working with men, it's that the body and the mind are never truly separate. Every emotion you feel, every worry you carry leaves a mark on your physical health. When a man sits in my office and tells me he's been feeling weaker, less responsive, less alive, I don't just look at his blood tests or his heart. I listen to the way he breathes, the way his shoulders slump, the way his voice tightens when he talks about stress. Because behind almost every case of reduced sexual function, there's a silent pattern of chronic tension that's been building for years. Stress is a quiet thief. It doesn't take your strength all at once. It steals it little by little, day by day. When you're under pressure, emotionally, financially, even mentally, your body shifts into survival mode. Your adrenal glands release adrenaline and cortisol, hormones designed to help you escape danger. But when those hormones stay elevated for too long, they do more harm than good. They tighten your blood vessels, raise your blood pressure, and keep your muscles in a state of constant readiness. The very state that was meant to protect you ends up starving your organs, your heart, and yes, even your manhood of the blood and oxygen they need to function. Many men over 60 live in this state without realizing it. They're retired, but their minds still race. They worry about their families, their health, their purpose. The body can't tell the difference between running from a tiger and lying awake thinking about bills. The response is the same. The arteries constrict. The nervous system stays on high alert, and that constant constriction is the quiet enemy of circulation. Erections require relaxation, but stress is the opposite of that. You can't force blood to flow into a body that believes it's in danger. That's where the beauty of acupressure and deep breathing comes in. When you stimulate the right pressure points, you send a message through your nerves that says, it's safe to relax now. You shift your body from the fight or flight state into what doctors call the parasympathetic state, the rest, digest, and recover mode. In this state, your blood vessels open, your breathing slows, and your body becomes receptive again. It's in this calm state that blood can truly flow to the pelvic region, that the mind can connect with the body, and that desire can resurface naturally. I once worked with a man named Thomas, 71 years old, who was still haunted by years of stress from running his business. Even after retiring, his mind wouldn't stop spinning. He told me, "Doctor, I feel like I'm always bracing for something bad to happen." We began simple acupressure routines and paired them with breathing exercises. Slow, deep inhalations through the nose, followed by long, gentle exhalations through the mouth. Within a few weeks, his blood pressure began to drop, his sleep improved, and he smiled when he told me, "I feel lighter, and I'm noticing things happening down there again." That's the power of letting go. When you allow your body to breathe and your mind to rest, everything begins to align. Blood starts moving again. The body starts listening. What once felt numb begins to awaken. You regain that sense of connection, not just physically, but emotionally too. Because an erection isn't only a response to stimulation, it's a reflection of how at peace your body is. Stress disconnects you from yourself. Relaxation brings you home again. And once your body returns to that calm, open state, the effects of the pressure points multiply. Your practice becomes more effective, your response becomes stronger, and your confidence naturally grows. But learning to control stress is only part of the story. The real transformation happens when you make this awareness a daily habit, when each day becomes a small act of renewal. In the next section, I'll show you exactly how to turn these techniques into a simple, powerful routine you can follow every day to maintain energy, strength, and lasting vitality. 6. Turning knowledge into daily ritual. Knowledge alone doesn't change your body. What transforms you is repetition, patience, and presence. I've seen too many men learn powerful techniques, feel inspired for a few days, and then let them fade away. But the men who see lasting results are the ones who make this practice a part of their daily rhythm, not as a chore, but as an act of self-respect. Think of it like brushing your teeth or taking a morning walk. This is hygiene for your circulation, your nerves, and your confidence. When you show up for yourself every day, your body learns to respond faster and more powerfully over time. Here's what I tell my patients. Keep it simple. You don't need an hour or a quiet room filled with candles. All you need is your attention. Start in the morning before you even get out of bed. Place your hand on your lower abdomen, right over the sea of energy point, and take a few deep breaths. Feel your belly rise and fall. Apply gentle pressure for 30 seconds, then release. That's all. It awakens blood flow, centers your breathing, and prepares your body to face the day with calm energy. Later, while sitting in your chair or watching television, reach for the 3 yin intersection point on your lower leg. Massage it with slow, deliberate circles. Feel the warmth spread through your legs. That warmth is your life force, moving freely again. Before bedtime, work on your lower back, the sea of vitality. If you can, lean against a wall with a tennis ball and gently roll the tender spots. As you breathe out, imagine letting go of the day's stress, the tightness, the self-criticism that builds with age. It's not just about blood flow, it's about returning to peace before you rest. Sleep that follows a relaxed body is deeper, more restorative, and that rest fuels the very hormones that support your stamina and vitality. I had a patient, Michael, who once told me that incorporating these massages into his daily life felt like pressing a reset button. He had battled years of fatigue and frustration, and he used to see his body as something broken. But after just a few weeks of daily practice, his language began to change. He stopped saying, "My body isn't working," and started saying, "My body is learning again." That shift is everything, because once you see your body as something capable of healing, not failing, you give it permission to recover. The key is consistency. Don't wait until you're frustrated or disappointed to act. Treat your health as something you maintain, not something you chase after when it's lost. The more consistent you are, the more your nervous system adapts. Your muscles begin to relax faster, your blood vessels stay open longer, and your confidence grows without effort. Over time, what starts as a small daily routine becomes a quiet source of power. A reminder that you still have control over how your body feels, responds, and performs. Every man I've guided through this process ends up discovering something deeper. It's not just about erections or blood flow, it's about reclaiming connection to your breath, your energy, and your identity as a man. It's about learning that touch, when applied with awareness, can reawaken parts of you that have been silent for too long. So make this your ritual. In the morning to wake your energy, in the evening to restore your calm. These simple acts become your bridge between effort and ease, tension and freedom, frustration and vitality. Your hands are the medicine and your breath is the guide. But there's still one last piece, something most men overlook. You can massage the right points and breathe the right way, but without this final element, the results never reach their full potential. In the next section, I'll reveal what that missing key is. And once you understand it, every pressure point you've learned will work 2, even 3 times more effectively. 7. The missing key, mind-body awareness. You can press every right point, breathe the perfect way, and follow each instruction to the letter, but if your mind isn't connected to your body, the results will always fall short. I've seen men perform these techniques mechanically, almost like checking off a list. They were doing everything correctly on the outside, but inside they were still disconnected, tense, and distracted. The missing key, the one that makes all the difference, is awareness. That deep, quiet focus that links your thoughts, your breath, and your physical sensations into one unified flow. When I first began teaching this concept, I noticed something extraordinary. The men who practiced acupressure with calm, mindful intention experienced dramatically faster and stronger results than those who rush through it. It's not magic, it's biology. Your nervous system can't fully relax unless your mind believes it's safe. When you touch a pressure point with awareness, really feeling the warmth under your skin, the rhythm of your breath, the release of tension, you activate the vagus nerve, one of the most powerful pathways between your brain and your body. This nerve controls your heart rate, blood pressure, and even the dilation of your arteries. When you bring awareness into the process, you're not just massaging your muscles, you're instructing your entire nervous system to open the channels that allow blood and energy to flow freely. I remember working with a man named Howard, 74 years old, who was diligent but frustrated. He did every exercise, every massage, but told me, "Doctor, I don't feel any change." When I asked him what he thought about while pressing the points, he said, "Mostly what I'm going to do later or whether this is working." That's when I asked him to stop thinking about results and start listening to his body, his heartbeat, his breath. A week later, he came back with a quiet smile and said, "Something clicked. It's like my body finally listened." What changed wasn't his hands, it was his awareness. Awareness is what transforms touch into healing. It slows your mind down enough to notice what your body's been trying to tell you for years. It turns routine into ritual and tension into trust. When you practice with awareness, you begin to sense the subtle waves of energy beneath your skin, the pulse of life that's always been there, waiting to be acknowledged. And when you connect with that, your body responds with gratitude. Your blood flows easier, your breathing deepens, and your erections become stronger and more natural because they're not forced. They're allowed. This connection also reaches beyond the physical. Many men tell me that when they start practicing with awareness, their relationships improve. They feel more patient, more present, more confident. They listen better, love better, and even sleep better. That's because awareness brings balance to every part of you. You stop fighting your body and start working with it. You stop chasing youth and start cultivating vitality. So as you press each point, the sea of energy, the three yin intersection, and the sea of vitality, let your breath guide you. Feel the rise and fall of your abdomen. Sense the warmth spreading through your skin. Imagine blood flowing easily, calmly, powerfully. This is your body remembering how to work in harmony again. What I've learned over the years is simple. Healing doesn't begin in the muscles or the veins, it begins in the mind. The body follows where the mind leads. When your awareness deepens, your body opens. And once you feel that connection, once you experience your own power returning naturally, you'll realize that you never truly lost it. It was just waiting for you to notice. Now that you understand how awareness completes this process, we can bring everything together. In the final part, I'll show you how to combine all three pressure points, your breath, and your focus into one simple doctor-approved routine that can transform your circulation, confidence, and vitality, starting tonight. Conclusion: reclaiming your vitality. Gentlemen, your body has always held the answers. Not in a pill, not in a supplement, but in the simple connection between your hands, your breath, and your awareness. These three pressure points, the sea of energy, the three yin intersection, and the sea of vitality, are not ancient myths. They are gateways to restoring what age and stress have quietly taken. When you practice them with patience and intention, you're doing more than improving blood flow. You're telling your body, "I'm ready to live fully again." I've watched men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s rediscover strength they thought was gone forever. Not because of something I gave them, but because they finally gave themselves permission to heal. When you touch your body with awareness, when you breathe deeply and let go of tension, you remind every cell that vitality doesn't fade with time. It grows with care. So tonight, before you sleep, take a few quiet minutes to practice. Breathe. Press feel. This is your moment to reconnect with yourself, not just as a man, but as a living, powerful being. Because true rejuvenation doesn't come from outside. It begins right here within you.